When did you realize you ran out of people to use? Candy was a horrible mom and an even worse sister to me, but she'd say otherwise. We're like a team, she'd chirp while dropping her kids at my apartment for the 5th weekend in a row. You're practicing for when you have your own, she'd say, but I didn't want the practice. What I wanted was my Friday nights back, but Candy had already left, heading to the bar for another ladies' night. Her kids hugged me, dragging overnight bags bigger than they were. Yay, sleepover at Auntie Blair's. When the kids weren't around, she'd Venmo request me asking for help with groceries after her kids ate everything in my fridge. It's just $20. Like I hadn't just spent $60 on chicken nuggets and juice boxes. Meanwhile, her Instagram showed $400 bar tabs and new Louis Vuitton knockoffs. The amount she asked for increased more and more over time. $150 for school supplies that funded her new shoes. $400 for kids' dance class that funded her new sleeve tattoo. Investing in myself so I can be a better mom, she'd posted with the finished ink. The gaslighting was Olympic level, and she was the gold medalist. When I mentioned I'd missed 4 dates because of last-minute babysitting, she rolled her eyes. You should be grateful for family time. When I said I was tired from watching her kids all weekend, she'd snap back, try doing it full-time like me. Well, if full-time meant dumping them with whoever would take them, why not? All she ever did was rotate them around, leaving them with our parents, his ex's mom, random neighbors, but mostly me, because I was so good with them and didn't have real responsibilities anyway. Like my 50-hour work week didn't count. Like my night classes didn't matter. My life was just the free space around her needs. But 3 months before my college graduation, I put my foot down and told Candy, May 15th, I absolutely cannot watch the kids. She waved her hand nonchalantly. Of course, my baby sister's big day. 2 weeks before the ceremony, I reminded her again. Got it, Blair, stop nagging. But exactly 4 hours before the ceremony, just before I got to leave, my doorbell rang. My niece and nephew stood there with their usual overnight bags and Happy Meals. I watched Candy's car peel out just as a text landed in my phone. Emergency, back tomorrow. I ushered the kids inside and started pacing back and forth, panicking while I tried to phone her. Each time, straight to voicemail. I opened up Instagram with shaking hands, and there she was. Airport bathroom selfie with the caption, Vegas baby, spontaneous trip with my new baby Derek, moi. I threw my phone on the bed and spent the next hour crying. My boyfriend entered the apartment to pick me up and found me in my cap and gown with mascara running. He picked up the wet wipes and dabbed at the mascara. I'll watch them, he said. You're not missing this. My graduation went by smoothly thanks to him. He kept the kids entertained throughout the entire event. Unlike my sister, who during my biggest achievement sat beside the pool several states away. Once she returned and picked up the kids, I blocked her everywhere. Phone, Instagram, Facebook, Venmo. I changed the locks to the apartment and put everything that reminded me of her in a box. 48 hours later, she showed up fresh from the salon with kids in tow. She tested the lock with her key and gave a confused look. Blair, open up, the key won't work, and I have a job interview. The kids knocked on the door too, giggling like it was a game. But after 10 minutes of standing, Candy got more aggressive. I know you're there. You're traumatizing the kids. I texted once and shut my phone off. Your kids, your problem. She banged on the door over and over for an hour before finally leaving. I felt bad for the kids, but I couldn't be treated like a daycare anymore either. My sister completely crashed out after that, ranting to friends and family how selfish I was. She sent a long, heartbroken message in the family chat about how it takes a village to raise kids. Instead of sympathy, the chat turned into a crime scene full of different members ranting about money she owed, promises she'd broken. Every single person she'd used started comparing notes and stacking it up like unpaid bills. 6 months later, she dropped off a letter. Blair, I've been in therapy. I see now how much you did for us. The kids ask about you constantly. I'm working 2 jobs, really changing. And I was almost touched until I saw the last line that screamed Candy. Could you help with their school supplies? Just this once? Candy eventually stopped looking for me, but even that was suspicious. I pieced together the full story later from friends about how she'd found another girl to leech off of. Should I warn her? I asked a friend. It might already be too late.